Are we ready? Are we ready for this? I'm sort of ready. Sort of. I'm getting ready to switch from days to nights this weekend. So, did not sleep very much last night. I'm awake now, so I can take a nap later and stay up all night tonight. So how's everybody doing, huh? How's everybody doing this this fine Friday? I hope everybody is doing well. I'd like to touch on that. I'm on days now, and then I'm gonna switch to nights. So Monday, I will be starting my night shift. So, Meek, in case you don't know, every 2 weeks I rotate. So I go from working 12 hours during the day and 12 hours during the day to 12 hours at night, and we rotate every 2 weeks. It's pretty nice. I get 2 days on, 2 days off kind of deal. So it's been great for hanging out with the kiddos as of late. And just getting stuff done around the house as per the usual, you know, daddy duties, husband duties, you know, all that shit. So for those of you that did watch the video, thank you. I appreciate your support, and I really don't know what else to say other than thank you very, very much. For those that didn't watch it, and I guess for those that have watched it, let me explain in detail what's going on. So for a little over a year now, I've kind of kept it, I don't want to say secret, but I've kind of kept it from the audience of YouTube and Twitch and you guys. I'm not doing this, so don't think that I am. I'm not doing this for sympathy or anything like that. I just wanted to be fair and honest with you guys and tell you what was really going on, and that's it. So I have a child. She has some medical issues. They are severe enough to, it should have played that. I don't know why it's not playing that. I'm gonna have to sit down and figure out why it's not playing that at all. But anyways, she's got some pretty severe medical issues, nothing that's life-threatening or anything like that. But it is going to require some surgery and long recovery time, etc. Some physical therapy. We really don't know how much, but yeah, that's where we're at. We just had an MRI yesterday, and everything is looking good so far for surgery wise. So I will let you guys know when that's going to happen, when I know. And as I said in that video, my streams and videos are going to be intermittent. They'll happen when they happen, and videos will come out when they come out, I suppose. I'm not leaving. I'm not saying goodbye. I'm not doing any of that stuff. I'm just saying that videos and streams and things like that are going to take a backseat, obviously, to what's going on. I'm letting you guys know that I've already started working on a video. It's going to take a long time to get out. It requires a lot of research, a lot of note taking, and the edit time will take just as long. But I will get that out, and it will get posted to YouTube. When it will be, I don't know, but that's probably going to be the next video, and it's going to take a long time, and I'm going to be working on it, you know, during the surgery and the recovery time and all that other stuff. So soon, TM and CIG's and CIG's wording, right? Yeah, I do. I make tires. I make the round black things that you guys put on your cars and drive around on. Yeah, that's what I do. That's what I do. I get paid pretty good. The benefits is really honestly why I'm there. I wish the pay was better. I mean, I'm sure we all do when it comes to our jobs. We all wish the pay was better, but You know, it is what it is. The benefits are amazing, though. So I will say that. Yeah, well, I won't give away who I work with, because if I say anything offensive and degrading here, they could fire me because, uh, you know how social media and all that stuff works. So we are going to kick off with a video. Now I've watched several dozen, about a dozen of this type of video. This one I did not watch, and I kind of want to see if his sentiment goes along with the sentiment I've seen from other YouTube creators and whatnot. But I do think this is a very important subject as far as Star Citizen goes. Obviously, when it comes to the world, it's moot. It's nothing. But CIG world, this means everything. We will discuss that. And then I found a pretty extensive write-up on the topic. Weiser kind of knows where this is going. So let's kick this off. All right. So this is Drinkers with Gaming Problems. God, I love that. I love that channel name. I love it. So Drinkers with Gaming Problems. Star Citizen lost 10.8 million in 2023. So let's kick it off here, huh? Let me know how sound is. I haven't streamed in a couple of weeks. Let me know how the sound is. I already know alerts aren't working for some reason.
Games just posted an $8.4 million loss for 2023. So what on earth is going on?
Crank that up a little bit.
No, this isn't clickbait. It's right here in black and white. A loss of £8,387,000, or about $10.8 million. And that's pretty awful by anyone's metric. It's definitely enough to get the Star Citizen is doomed crowd foaming at the mouth and predicting the heat death of the universe. But, and you probably figured this out, it's not actually as catastrophic as it looks. This isn't me.
Now, he is correct. Operating at a 10.8 or $10.4 million loss is not that big of a deal. Many companies do this. Many companies do this. Now, I'm going to provide some context for this, though. Those companies that operate at $10.4 million losses, most of them deal with physical goods. Most of them are backed by multimillionaires as shareholders. Most of them are backed by a significant amount of product recognition, right? This company lacks all of that, right? They lack all of that. They do not deal in physical goods. They don't have major brand recognition, and they only have a few multimillionaires that are pumping money into this. So they don't have any of that. Am I saying that this is terrible and the world, the Star Citizen world is ending tomorrow? No, I'm not. I'm just saying that it's normal for other companies. It's not normal for a crowdfunding game.
Mainlining copium. I've quit the stuff. Gone cold turkey, in fact. At least for the duration of this video, and then I'm diving straight back in. The good news is I've got receipts, so maybe consider hitting subscribe for the actual pain I've inflicted on myself reading all this, so you don't have to.
It's a pretty extensive report, but it's for UK.
Eye-watering.
This is also only the UK operations. This does not cover the LA office, the Houston office. It does not cover that. Just the UK office.
50-page document.
That is the headquarter.
You'll find it linked below if you're feeling brave.
For what it's worth.
Know that reading it is just about as enjoyable as slamming your fingers in a door. The report isn't the gamer-friendly version CIG usually puts out on its own website. That hasn't dropped yet. What we're looking at
2
here
years
is
almost.
The official legal
2
filing
years
required in the UK. And the figures come straight from an independent auditor, so it's not just marketing guff and space magic from Chris and the team. So are people losing faith in the game and slamming their wallets shut? Are Chris and the directors huddled on their yachts, burning stacks of backer cash to stay warm? No, not even close. In fact, revenue was up in 2023.
Correct, Weiser.
47.9 million compared to 44.6 in 2022. And their operating income, the other operating
Stay a while
income,
and listen.
was also up. £11.8 million compared with 6.9 million the year before. So why the loss? Primarily because costs exploded, up by a chunky £24.5 million. And there seem to be three main reasons for that.
I hope he gets into them.
CIG bought the remaining 75% of Turbulent. That's a big move, and a pretty pricey one too at over £4.5 million. Second, they've been on something of a hiring spree, growing the team to keep both Squadron 42 and Star Citizen moving forward. More devs, more salaries, more coffee machines. Add 2 teaspoons of the highest inflation rate since 1991, and it's all starting to paint a picture. The third reason is peak accounting weirdness.
Peak
CIG
accounting
moved
weirdness.
into their shiny new Manchester Goodyard studio back in 2022.
I forgot to share it with myself so I could show it to you guys, but I'm on Twitter or X, whatever the hell it's called these days, right? I'm on Twitter. And some designer, I'm not sure if he was a designer or a dev at CIG, he shared a image of a video of New Babbage, right? It's very obvious Star Citizen gameplay. And then they showed the finished entryway or room into one of the floors or offices of the UK Manchester building. And it was a 1-to-1 representation of the scene that they showed in New Babbage. Look, I'm all for having your headquarters decorated and nice looking, but if you look at some of the stuff that they have in the Manchester building, it is ridiculous sums of money that are getting put into designs. Like, look at the wall, like it's ridiculous. Like I'm all for, creating morale and things like that, but when you're spending that kind of money on decorations, I think we should be spending it on paying devs, getting a game out, research and development, etc. Right? We should not be spending millions of pounds or dollars on decorations.
Which happened outside of the scope of this report. However, this is the first financial report where they're listing a £10 million liability tied to that studio. Why? Well, because when the lease ends, they're contractually required to return the studio in what they call Category A condition to the landlord. Think fresh carpets, nice lighting, and none of the geeky weirdness they've installed, like they were never there building spaceships and dreams. CIG has purposely overestimated that cost to avoid any nasty surprises down the road.
I mean, that's smart.
Kind of like knowing you need to pay for a pet air clean before you leave a rental property.
It all changed when you left.
You're not spending that money right now, but you'll end up in trouble if you pretend like that future cost doesn't exist.
And Tony,
they
bye,
haven't
Tony.
paid a penny of it yet.
You will be missed.
Sitting on the books. An accounting move, not a record of any money being paid. In other words, it's about being cautious, not cash-strapped. So that
is smart.
£10 million studio cost, it does show up right here. And it also explains why admin expenses suddenly ballooned like a starfarer hit by a torpedo. But here's the kicker. Take out that ultra-conservative estimate, money that hasn't actually gone anywhere yet, and that scary-looking
right?
£8.3 million loss, well, it actually turns into more what it actually is, a £1.67 million profit. So, once again, you can safely ignore the frenzy screaming that seems to follow, well, literally anything CIG does. That said, there are a couple of spicy footnotes worth paying attention to. Remember that whole drama from the last report?
Real quick, from what I understand, I could be wrong on this, so somebody correct me, whether it's in the chat or in comments later. I do believe they operate one of the largest mocap studios in the UK. And if that's true, why don't they supplement some of their revenue by allowing other game companies or even movie companies, since Chris is so huge into movies, to rent out and use the mocap studio? I'm just saying, you know, that could be a good way to supplement revenue. Now, there could be many reasons why they don't do this, but I'm just saying maybe they could, right? Oh, the flight I have not played, but I hear the flight model in X4 is amazing.
Last year, the one where certain stockholders could potentially sell their shares back to CIG at a premium. Well, it looks like that clause has now been renegotiated. It's been kicked down the road by a year, although it does still have the clause that says they cannot force a sale that threatens the running of the company. And that means the earliest time anyone can start calling money out is after the 2025 financial report. So sometime in early 2027.
He's wrong.
Now, it's hard not to notice how nicely that timing lines up with the alleged release of Squadron 42 and all the juicy revenue CRG will be hoping that brings. Oh, and before I get the smart ass...
Here, maybe he'll cover it. I do not think Squadron 42 will do as well outside of the Star Citizen community as everybody says it will. All right. Most of the people that are going to buy Squadron 42 already bought it years ago. When they had the pledge packages together, you know, Squadron 42 and Star Citizen, most people bought it back then. I don't foresee them selling 1, 2, 3 million copies in the first month. I don't see it happening. I mean, look at how popular Gray Zone was, and it got released 2 weeks, early released, 2 weeks after the whole Escape from Tarkov debacle, and it was the hottest thing, right? It was the biggest thing on YouTube at the time. And they sold 1.1 million copies in a month. And that was about it. So I don't see how they're going to do that. I don't know of the legal ramifications that come with Star Engine, because it is a lumberyard. It's a lumberyard modification. So they used CryEngine, and then they got sued and left CryEngine and went and started using Amazon Lumberyard, and Amazon Lumberyard got modified into Star Engine. Pagans. Hey, Pagan. So I don't know how exactly they're going to do that and what legal things come with selling a heavily modified version of another software. Like, I don't know, for the software and the IT geeks out there and copyright and patent guys, you let me know how that works, because I don't know, and I would like to know, but I would assume that there's a lot of legal things that have to be dealt with before they can start selling a modified version of another software. But who knows, right? I don't know.
Comments, but it says right here the company's loss for the year was over £20 million. Yeah, it does say that, but We backers tend to think of CIG as one company. In reality, it's a group of them, and those losses are offset by the profits of the other companies in the group. It's just singled out here.
What other companies are in the group?
The UK-based part of those groups needs to be reported on so that CIG can receive those juicy video game tax breaks that are available here in the UK. So, there. On that note, those tax breaks are set to come to an end in 2027.
Yep.
So we need to keep our fingers crossed that Squadron 42 sees widespread commercial success. So unless you're hoping to roast marshmallows over the ashes of Star Citizen, this report really isn't the doomsday
that's what I assume,
that some folks will be hoping to make it into. Is everything sunshine and rainbows? No, not entirely. Big spending always brings big expectations, and as the dev team keep expanding, pressure's mounting to deliver the goods. There are storm clouds on the horizon that seem to rely quite a bit on Squadron 42 being a big hit with far-reaching appeal. But from where I'm standing, CIG looks more like a company gearing up for a major launch, and not one on the verge of collapse. You've been watching Drinkers with...
Alright, so that was Drinkers with Gaming Problems. Let me share this with you guys. So now we're going to read a report that came out a little while ago. Now, there are certain caveats that go with this. This is a Reddit report by Nosy Gamer. We're going to read a majority of this together.
Suck it,
like in class, right? Like we're in class. So here we go. Cloud Imperium UK Ltd's 2023 accounts are not pretty. At the beginning of 2024, fans of cloudimperiumgames were ecstatic. The company's cash shop had posted another year of record sales of 117.6 million, a year-over-year increase of 3.5%. But in the financial report for 2022, posted to the CIG corporate website, the company revealed worker headcount increased from 2023 from 860 employees to over 1,100. Did the overall company revenue match the nearly 30% spike in employees? In a filing with UK Companies House on Friday, the answer apparently is no. For the second year in a row, Cloud Imperium filed its annual accounts late. Why is that? They're always late. I don't get it. Why should followers of games like Squadron 42 or Star Citizen care? Because Cloud Imperium UK Ltd is the rest of the world's category in CIG's financial reports. The company describes itself in its strategic report as follows. We're not going to read that. Looking at the group statement of comprehensive income, one can see the group recorded a loss of 8.4 million, whereas the video that we just watched, 10.8 million US. Basically, CIG says in this point right here that they're continuing to progress the development of Star Citizen. Primary development for Star Citizen is being undertaken with the UK. Early alpha release version at the end of 2022. Introduced persistence. It's being undertaken in the UK. Basically because of tax cuts, right? They get income tax cuts. Blah, 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 blah. Right, they cover it right here. Right here. A result of increased video game tax credit that, as we discussed, that ends in 2027. So, yeah. The passage suggests that development for Star Citizen is now occurring in Manchester, that costs in the US have decreased significantly, but the 2022 average number of employees working for Cloud Imperium UK each month jumped 49% from 573 in 2022 to 854 in 2023. Given the total number of employees worldwide to jump over 1,100, headcount in the US probably remained steady. One of the problems with just viewing the financial information from the UK is that increased costs on one half of the company could result in lower costs in the US. Observers will need to await the posting of the comprehensive financial report for 2023 to appear on the CIG corporate website for actual profit or loss figures. Now, remember, what we got and what everybody has been going over the last 2 weeks, 3 weeks, however long it's been, is the UK only tax filings. We have not got the US ones. So we've got to wait. And remember, Turbulent is in Canada, so we haven't gotten the Canadian ones. So we got 3 different countries going on here, 3 different tax filings, and we've only gotten 1/3 of the story so far that I know of. Once again, somebody correct me, somebody send me a link, something. Somebody, if I'm wrong, somebody send that to me, please, because I'd like to look it over. Blah, 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 blah. All right. Interesting stuff. Turbulent acquisition. They got, as we know, 75% of the remaining of Turbulent for 9.8 million Canadian. They've collaborated since 2012, integral to Star Citizen and Squadron 42 development. Management have estimated the useful life of goodwill to be 10 years. The acquired software is integral to the daily development of Star Citizen that has now been moved up to the UK. Strong customer relationship. Oh, okay. I'd have to find out for sure if Montreal did fully get moved to the UK. I'm not sure on that either. Upon derecognition, the investment of the associates is share historical profits. Blah, blah, blah. So total consideration was 4.3 million pounds or 7.2 million Canadian at the exchange rate on July 1st, 2023. Reading the final results of the deal were amusing, as CIG was able to consider 2.9 million pounds owed to Turbulent wiped off the books. Also payments owed to the co-founders of Turbulent, Benoit, I'm not going to say that, and Mark, count as employees' expenses of 1.945 million pounds. These payments were contingent upon the pairing system with CIG for 2 years. I believe the 2-year period is over in July 2025. So, if I were you guys, I'm not saying this is going to happen, but it very well could happen, is Benoit and Mark both could leave in July of 2025. So be prepared for that to happen. All right, now we get on to the juicy stuff, the really good stuff, the really, really good stuff. The put option. Last year, a conflict arose over financial arrangement made between the Calders and CIG when they made their initial investment into the company. The continued existence of the put option, however, is still causing conflicts between CIG and their independent auditors, PwC. The auditor explained why the audit could only give a qualified opinion of the accuracy of the financial reports. Remember, auditor said he can only give a qualified opinion. Basis for qualified opinion. The group and the company have disclosed a contingent liability within Note 31 of the financial statements. This is a put option entered into the company in 2018 with certain minority shareholders, which, if exercised, could result in a contractual obligation for the company to deliver cash or another financial asset to the holders in exchange for the shares. In accordance with FRS 102, this could have been recognized as a financial liability within the balance sheet. After initial recognition, the liability should have been subsequently measured in accordance with Section 11 and Section 12 of FRS 102, with changes recognized within the statement comprehensive income. Management has outlined a valuation within Note 31, which is material. However, we were unable to obtain sufficient appropriate audit evidence in relation to this balance, and so have qualified our opinion in respect of this put option. The put option, as described at note 31, is a bit confusing. First to the description. A contingent liability exists within respect to 1.8 million 2022 of the 11.745 million issued shares as of 31st of December 2023. The holders of these shares have the right to put their shares back into the company for repurchase at a minimum return premium of 6% per annum on the initial purchase price for 1.6 million shares. They also have valued formula based on 3 years average revenue leading to the start of the excise period. When this information first emerged last year, the smaller investor was identified as Eli Klein, we'll go with Klein, who advised CIG on the Calder's initial $46 million investment into the company. The large investors were the Calders, especially Keith Calder and Indus Management Ltd. According to the above, the shares acquired from Ortwin Frermuth last year did not qualify for the put option. So Ortwin, remember when we discovered that Ortwin sold off his shares? I did that conspiracy video about a year ago. We never knew who got those shares, if he reappropriated them back into the company or who. Apparently the Calders got those. So the Calders also have Ortwin shares. So whatever they bought into plus Ortwin shares. Okay. So that's, they got a sizable amount of this company. The timing of the option may be exercised is unusual. The clock doesn't start running on the decision period until CIG completes its accounting for the fiscal period. A move that makes sense. I mean, obviously, right? The lawyer that quit. Yes. Yeah. He was also one of the founders of CIG as well. He was at the top for a very long time. And then he was part of their legal advisement team. He was the head of their legal advisement team. And then he stepped down last year. He tried to do it all quiet like, but you know, us roadmap watchers see everything. So yeah. A move that makes sense, blah, blah, blah. For 1.6 million shares between the 1st of January 2024 and 31st of March 2024. Shares, their first put rights exercisable within 30 days of the financial statements being delivered for the year and 31st December 2025, and within 30 days of the financial statements being delivered for the year's end 31st December 2028, and for all shares separately, for all shares 1.8 million, separately 277,000 shares are excisable on 31st December 2027. So according to the above, Klein can exercise a put option within 30 days of the financial statements being delivered for the years 2027 and 2028. For the Calders, the year's end of 2025 and 2028. I had been under the impression a decision was required within the first quarter of those years. The explanation for why CIG did not want to include this contingent liability is because, to summarize, the terms are confusing. How confusing? Here's an example CIG included in the accounts. Consequently, consistent with prior years, the company has not recognized this put option as a financial liability measured at the net present value of the expected payments. If it were to do so at the minimum return value on the investment for those shares, it would generate a liability with a present value of 30.4 million pounds at 31st December 2023, 3.11 million pounds using a discount rate of 10% for 2022. This would arise to 4.6 million pounds based on a applied to an estimate of the 3 prior years' revenue leading up to the exercise dates. These are many assumptions underpinning the calculations. Multiple before probability of it being exercised is considered. And the fact that this is considered remote is the primary reason for not recognizing the uncertain net present value of potential contingent liability. So they're not even counting this into their financials because it'll never happen. I don't operate that way. I always operate as the worst thing possible can happen, and I hope for the best, right? I would rather know what dangers or what things are looming over my head before I jump in feet first, right? And then as I jump, I hope for the best, right? Because I don't want to get hit blindsided by something that I'm not sure about. All right, back to it. Of course, the claim that any of the shareholders wishing to take advantage of the put option is so remote, the company did not need to consider the possibility, did not fly with the auditor. But if a put option is exercised at the end of 2028, it would exceed 100 million US. Post balance sheet events. A loss of 4.8 million is possibly an accounting tick for tax purposes. The acquisition of Turbulent was a possibly shrewd move, especially considering the expenditure was a much less than reported in the 2022 company accounts. The put options are complicated affairs that shareholders probably won't exercise in the next few years, if ever. But then we get down to the post balance sheets. These are these are financially significant events. Hey, Mason. That don't affect the evaluated year's balance sheets. The first sale of 247,000 shares is to an existing shareholder on the 15th of January 2025. The sale price of each share was $20.20, making the purchase 5 million or 4.1 million pounds in the exchange at the day's exchange rate. The fact that the buyer was an existing shareholder was a new detail not known before the release of the accounts. The second is a previously unknown event. On the 3rd of March 2025, CIG borrowed 10 million or 12.6 million US from an existing shareholder while the identity of the shareholder is unknown. The principal of the loan is due on the 31st of 2027. Looking back, Cloud Imperium is posting an $8.4 million loss 2 years ago is potentially embarrassing, but with the figures from the U.S. portion of the operations explainable. The fact that the auditor of the report could only give qualified opinion on the facts surrounding the Calder's put option, a contingent liability potential larger than CIG's assets, is worrisome, especially since the liability is likely to exist for the next 5 years. But raising of 14 million pounds or 17.6 million US over the past 3 months as part of a series of events since the end of 2023 that leads one to believe CIG is in financial trouble. I have been saying this now for a few weeks. I've been saying this for about a year. There are too many indicators that are pointing at that they are in desperate need of cash. All right. You have the sale of ships that were never supposed to be sold. You have them creating false FOMO with retiring the Hornets. Then you bring out new Hornets. The fact that in 2024 we have 52 weeks in a year. 52. 36 weeks of 2024 was a sales week or sales event. 36 weeks out of 52. That's big. Now we have reports coming out that they're borrowing money in 2024 and 2025. To me, this is my opinion, they are borrowing this money to pay for the year's salary for their employees. That is my opinion. I think that they are borrowing money so that they can take care of their overhead costs. Once again, my opinion. All right. I think they are spending money faster than they're bringing it in. And this is a very worrisome problem, right? We are 2 years or a year, we're almost a year away from Squadron 42. And you got to remember, a lot of these AAA studios spend in excess of $150 to $300 million advertising. That's 3 years worth of advertising, right? And they can't rely solely on YouTube content creators to advertise this game. So that's kind of where we're at. All right, let's wrap this up. All right. In March of 2024, Chris Roberts explained the departure of staff as well as announcing the eventual closure of the Los Angeles office for game development. In April and May, Cloud Imperium co-founder and longtime business associate of the Roberts, Ortwin, sold off his shares in the company and resigned from the board of directors in June. In December, word once again spread about layoffs at Cloud Imperium, this time involving quality assurance staff. In January, right before the sale of $5 million in CIG shares, word of leadership shakeup leaked out. The new leadership team adopted a new strategy that resulted in a first quarter cash shop sales rising of 47% compared to the first 3 months of 2024. So in addition to raising $17.6 million from existing shareholders, the cash shop raised an additional $8.2 million. Add in the closure of the Los Angeles office for administration as well as game development, and matters don't look good. And with Friday's announcement that SitCon will not take place physically and only last one day, the bad news continues to roll on. Let me put in more of my 2 cents. I think we're looking at maybe 2 or 3 years left in this project if they do not turn things around financially. In my opinion, if you want to make money, the best way to make money is to fix the fucking game and make sure it works. Right? It's been 13 years. We're at $801 million raised for this game. We still fall through planets. We fall through ships. Ships, guns stop working. We randomly die walking down the stairs. We hit invisible things in our ship. It's been a while, but we die with our helmet on in no atmosphere. Party markers don't work. VoIP doesn't work. Missions don't work. You have to, like, the list of bugs goes on and on and on and on. I have massive memory leaks. Like I can go into task manager while the game is running, and I literally cannot run anything else except for the game and Discord. Otherwise, my computer is maxed out. I have 32 gigs of RAM and it maxes out. Why? Because I'm telling you right now, from what limited knowledge I have and looking in the task manager and pulling up processes involved with Star Citizen, there is a massive memory leak somewhere, right? You rewind the clock to before 3.24 dropped. I was running fine. I could have OBS open. I could have Discord open. I could be recording. I could have StreamerBot up. I could have tabs of YouTube open in my behind everything. Everything ran smooth. I was not breaking 100 FPS, but I had a decent FPS. And now it's shit all over again. Cough, cough, still alpha. Yeah. Yes, you're right. But most of those shareholders don't hold as much money as, well, it seems like they don't hold as much money as the Calders. So yeah. I really do think that, if Squadron 42 does not sell a couple million copies within the first year, we could be looking at I don't want to say a collapse, but a very serious scale down, and things getting worse and not getting better at all. So I'll share this with you guys, and you guys can do with it as you wish. You guys can hang on to that. So, what other fun things can we get into, right? Farming Bitcoin on the client, right? Right? We could farm Bitcoin. I've been playing Tarkov a lot, and I've really got my hideout built up enough where I got my Bitcoin farm. Now I only have like 4 or 5 GPUs, so I'm not like pulling in tons of Bitcoins, but I think it's like every 60 or 70 hours I get 3 Bitcoins, as long as I have the generator on. And I've farmed enough Bitcoins that I got like 10 million ruples. It's pretty extensive. It's pretty extensive. So anyways, I had fun making that, Pagan. I had a lot of fun making it. It was good. I had fun with it. Let's see, what else should we watch? I can make this an entire Camurl thing. Okay, so we'll do one of these. I already watched this one. This is the aUEC. A lot of you guys may or may not know him. He's primarily a Elite Dangerous guy. He's played Star Citizen a little bit here and there, or maybe he has played it a lot. I'm not 100% sure, but he kind of shits on both games, and rightfully so. They each have their problems, right? I don't watch much of him, but I did watch how playable is Star Citizen. He built a brand new computer and played Star Citizen, and it didn't work out so well. And if you go to the comments section of this video, here, I'll share it with you guys so you guys can check it out at your leisure. No, that's not what I wanted. I wanted to share. So he built this new computer, and it didn't work out so well for him in Star Citizen, and the White Knights
stay a while
took to
and
his
listen.
I'm so with you on everything you said so far, but the 800 million has never been a big deal with when less ambitious games blow more than SC has doubled the budget. Yes, there are less ambitious games that have done it with less ambitious games that have done it with the same budget or more, but they also generally, unless you're Concord, that generally tripled their investment, right? So I forget, it was $400 million for Red Dead Redemption and 9 years of development, but they made like $1 billion in a couple of months off of that game. So there's that. But yeah. So anyways, back to what I was saying. How playable is Star Citizen? aUEC built a new computer. The White didn't work out so well for Star Citizen, and the White Knights immediately took to his comment section and told him that he built the computer wrong. So that was hilarious. That was absolutely hilarious. So we are gonna watch Is Star Citizen Fun by aUEC.
Recently, on my monthly drive-by shitpost, I checked upon the performance of Star Citizen as it's running today. During my testing, I opined, well, you could even start having fun in this space second life once the performance is not insulting you at every step, by using the best gaming PC on the market. Yet I could not fully enjoy myself. When it's not the performance, the smelly, unwashed bugs,
Adam.
glitches, and unfinished features raise to the top like a floater in a communal pool. For crying out loud, the physics
Also
still
true,
run
Blaze.
on what feels like 5 frames.
Here's just real quick. If you go down the list, it's been a while since I've done it, but if you go down the list of lead developers, team leads, and even senior members of CIG's team, not very many of them have completed games under their belts, right? I'm not saying that that's a bad thing. I'm just saying that's kind of a eyebrow-raising thing, right?
Second updates, so even the silly ragdoll physics are ruined. And that's at that point, I gotta ask, is Star Citizen actually fun in the first place?
I may disagree with him, but surprisingly, I might disagree with him on some of this.
Now then, last time I mentioned this. In fact, I got used to the lack of stuttering and smooth frame pacing, like a real game, that I was starting to actually have fun while testing. It really was remarkable how interesting Star Citizen could get if the performance was sorted out. And it seems that some of you actually noticed it. However, notice that I didn't use the word fun, but rather how interesting Star Citizen could get once you are not assaulted by the constant hitching and obvious performance issues. Now, we'll get back to the choice of words in a bit. However, the thing I didn't quite expect to see were quite a bit of comments mentioning, from Star Citizen fans themselves even, something like this. Oh yeah, Star Citizen pretty good. I boot it up every year to see what changed, but stop playing after about a few hours due to the bugs and performance. And that kinda resonated. See, for years I've been...
I don't do that, but I definitely take a couple of weeks to a month off before I jump back in, because, I have my reasons, and bugs and performance is definitely one of the reasons, but it's not the main reason. There's a lot of things to hate about Star Citizen, but there's also a lot of things to love about Star Citizen, which kind of finds it in a really odd place with me. Like, I still want it to be the best game ever, and I still want to play that game. Just, it's not there yet, and I'm, kind of tired of not playing and only testing, so to speak, right?
Been covering Star Citizen, I've been seeing these types of comments more and more as of late, especially. So today I really gotta ask, is Star Citizen even fun in the first place? And again, I'm not being snide, sarcastic, or whatever.
Before he gets into this, is Star Citizen fun as a solo player? Look, if you're a solo player, answer in your own way. For me, solo gameplay is a little bland, boring, and unfulfilling. Now, when I do it with a group of friends, like Jim and Pagan and Marcus and Canop and Grumpy, and we get a good group going, Skeet and we get a good group going, 2, 3, 4 of us. And sometimes, like the dodgeball thing, there's I think 18 or 19 of us there. It's a blast, and I have tons of fun. Bugs aside, sometimes it makes it even more hilarious, but I have a really good time. But the solo gameplay in this is very bland. I'm putting it nicely.
If you would join
This is a genuine question. Now, everyone has their own yardstick for what counts as fun. Be you a hypercritical Yamix with low tolerance for bullshit, or a space dad John who likes a spaceship and will ignore more blatant customer mistreatment, as long as there is space pew-pews and cool visuals to call something fun and worth his time and money.
I agree with that, Mason.
Since I only can vouch for myself, I'll try to just simply explain why I almost had fun in Star Citizen, but that fun
he almost had
was
fun.
snatched away from me. Now, let's start with my favorite activity, the 890 jump or a bunker mission.
I love this mission.
Even the black kite or a planet surface encampment clearing from the first person.
What's up,
Pretty much
bro?
anything that has to do with first person. Whatever it might be, it's my jam. See, I also like a challenge, and back in the day when Star Citizen servers were running on the hamster-powered Amazon potatoes, you could arrive with nothing but your space underpants. Tactically fist a dude to death and pick up his gun and armor, then proceed to molest the rest of his friends.
Yeah, that's true.
So
it's
the
true.
process of getting out of your...
I like the 890 mission, and now that the servers run a bit better, the AI is a bit better. I definitely can't be like, these are quality video game bots, but they're better, right? They're better. They occasionally wing me, right? But I don't know. Like I do like the 890 mission though. Don't get me wrong. I do like the 890 mission.
Your bed, schlepping to the spaceport and summoning your ship. Though glitchy and buggy at times.
They need
like,
to
for
get...
example, the fickle elevators when they haven't had their morning Snickers. I can still overlook
They need to get rid of this
inside the ship and
long
undocking, hell, even opening the map
thing.
Works fine today. Whereas about a year ago, the old system map was so bad it genuinely could ruin whatever fun there was on the spot. So...
I could honestly, I don't know how he's going to say this, but I could honestly argue that the new and improved map isn't much better. It's like that much better. That much better. I still have the same problems with it as I did the old map.
Oh, that's an improvement. Now, sure, it still looks like an ass, but at least
it does look
works,
like ass,
right? Yeah, well, this is where the first roadblock to fun appears. The simple A to B route planning mechanism is still broken. Want to go to the other side of the planet? Okay, Route Planner simply tags the endpoint on the planet. Now, that'd be fine if the ship would automatically navigate around, but nope,
yes,
you can't
hangar
initiate
halves would be
drive
amazing.
because fuck you. So, like a fucking idiot, you have to fiddle around with the shitty map to do even the simplest task. Go somewhere! Because somebody could not code a basic, and I mean genuinely basic, node-based navigation system planner. But okay, one major issue, I can still live with that. Now, after arriving in 890 jump or a bunker, you get out and fart your way to the objective. And that's pretty cool, especially if you're in space and need to use the EVA. However, what follows is the least cool thing imaginable. This is where you meet the AI. Now, thanks to my super duper pooper PC, I'm able to see just how interesting NPCs in Star Citizen actually are, without the constraints of low or inconsistent frame rates. A brain-dead Roomba is a compliment when paired to this level of, well, frankly, pathetic AI. And this is the upgraded version today, because you see, back in the day, the server frame rate was so bad that AI basically was running with 2000 millisecond ping. And to put it in context, for bots, it would be more like seeing the world like this.
So here's, all right. I have a response for you, Pagan. It's not that they need to scale the bunker difficulty. It's that as he just said, the AI is too reliant on the server FPS and all things connected to it, right? And that's where we get a problem. You either get, and CIG has said a few times, I don't know where they're at right now with the AI. They ramped up the AI to near max difficulty in order to keep up with the server ping. So where they're at now, I don't really know on their difficulty scale. I don't know. So I think the problem lies in, we don't know what kind of AI we're going to get, right? So I've done the 890 mission several times here in 4.1, or what are we at? 4. Whatever patch we're on, I don't care. I've done the 890 mission several times and I've gotten to several different outcomes. I've gone in there, breezed through it where they barely look at maybe squeeze a trigger a couple of times on me, and that's it. Then I've gone in there and I've come out with tier 3 arm injury, tier 3 leg injury, tier 3 chest injury, tier 3 head injury. I'm all out of stims. I'm halfway through my med gun, and I've only got 4 magazines left by the time I finish, right? And then there's other times where it's like right in the middle. So I think it's still tied to server performance, and will always be tied to server performance. I don't know how you fix this. I think another issue that we have here is that when I watch Space Dads or Bobs do FPS, there is a lot of mistakes that they make, right? They're not using cover. They are walking right down the middle of an open room. They don't hug the walls. They don't use any of the leaning mechanics. They don't. They feel that because they have the heaviest armor on, they can just face tank everything. So, and I'm not saying this is typical of, you know, all of the Space Dads and all of the Space Bobs that I watch. It's like these guys are playing FPS games for the first time ever, and they don't know how to react, and they don't know how to read the situation before they even do it. I'm not saying I'm a competitive, you know, 4-time world champ, Call of Duty, Warzone champion or anything like that, because I'm not. But I don't really get killed by the AI in this game unless, you know, rewind the clock to 2 years ago when the server FPS was at max, and there was 3 people on the server. 3 out of 100 people, 3 people were on the server. Me, my friend, and some other random. And the AI was nuts, and it was super fun. But that doesn't happen all the time. And like I said, I don't know what the balancing point is, where they keep it. But as I said, you have a lot of Star Citizen players. They don't play games like, and I don't want to say like me, but like a lot of other people, where you got your Call of Duty players, you got your Tarkov players, you got your Rust players, you got you know, the guys that play Ghost Recon Wildlands, where they're used to having a challenge thrown at them. They know how to read a situation. They know how to use cover, where to go to, you know, when they start getting shot up, when to use a med pen or when to reload, right? Because you could get hit a bunch of times and still need a reload, and you have to make a decision. Am I going to reload, or am I going to use the med pen, right? So there's a lot of things that tie into the AI difficulty, and I think the 2 number 1 things are server, and then 2, we have a large portion of the Star Citizen player base that treat this as a clicker RPG, and because they have heavy armor on, the best weapon, they should just be able to face tank and overpower anything in there. So I think that's a big thing. I think because it's a completely separate entity, Jim, but I don't know. I've never actually played Star Marine. I've never been in it. Not one time. In the 3 years I've been here, I have never clicked on Star Marine. I've never been past, I've never gone further than arena commanders and the flying in arena commander, like Pirate Swarm and free flight and things like that. And I usually use free flight and Pirate Swarm just to make sure my controls are okay. That's all I use it for. So I don't know.
And this is why funny fisting worked back in the day. Today, well, not so much. Server meshing improvement. Ooh. Yet you already could see how slowly the NPCs update, both in the movement and in ragdoll physics. And frankly speaking, this is the definition of unplayable. Sure, it's the kind of unplayable where the difficulty is set to space that baby mode. What the fuck is the point in this kind of a gameplay, if you even dare to call it that? And mind you, that increasing the NPC aimbot speed at which it snaps onto the player and shoots is not increasing the difficulty. That's the exact opposite of how a good AI is coded. As an FPS enthusiast, I find this level of, frankly, I can't find any other word other than pathetic excuse for AI. Utterly sad and not worth anyone's time.
I mean, look at right here. Let me back up.
It snaps onto the player and shoots is not increasing the difficulty. That's the exact opposite of how a good AI is coded. As an FPS.
Okay, now if you were to do what he's gonna do in this situation, and I'd say 99% of any other game that has FPS, you would die immediately. You would see the game over screen immediately. You wouldn't even get your shots off. What am I talking about? There is an open doorway right here he did not check. There's a guy at the bottom of the stairs that puts shots on him. And this guy gets shots on him. In any other FPS game against AI, you would immediately die. Immediately. Why? As I stated, didn't check. AI over here already shooting at him. AI right here, which is he's focused on, and this also shoots him. And you can see it right here.
As enthusiast, I find this level of...
he gets hit.
Frankly, I can't find any other word other than
and he makes it out.
Excuse for AI. Utterly sad and not worth anyone's time. The literal definition of clicking heads is how you would describe it. So that's no fun. But what about the other side, the loot that is left over? Maybe that will make it worth your while and make it fun. Well, guess what? Here's where you meet the inventory systems. Yes, there are two of them, and both are pretty stupid. Jesus fucking Christ. Now I know I've been... You meet the inventory systems. Yes, there are two of them.
Scarred, SitCon 2023. This looks great. It's gonna make things so much simpler, and I can't wait to use it. Scarred in 2024 and 2025. This fucking inventory sucks. This is the worst thing ever fucking invented. Yeah, that aged really well, right? That aged so well from the 2023 SitCon till now. And I wish I could go back into the past and kick myself in the ass for saying that, because this is the worst thing ever. And it's not even improved. It's like most people don't even use this. They hit this little button right there and close it out and use the old inventory system. Like, it's so bad. It's so bad. And now the extra I'll let him talk about it before I weigh in.
And both are pretty stupid. Jesus fucking Christ. Now I know I've been beating this dead horse since it got introduced, but the constant hitching as the server tries to update the ragdolls, dropped objects, or registering whenever you press the button to pick up something. No, the other thing. No, the bot. No, don't take the body. No inventory. No, just It's just horrible. The looting, the reward portion of.
I will say this. I do not understand who is in charge at CIG with inventory. I don't understand it. Inventory systems have been around in video games, like, and I'm not talking about the first video games like Coleco and the Odyssey 2000 and the other things that, was Pong on your computer. Boop, boop, boop. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about since about 1984, 1985, with the advent of the NES, when games like Zelda, Metal Gear Solid, etc. started being introduced to the market. We have had 40 years of inventory systems that have been come up with by hundreds of video game companies, thousands upon thousands of devs and has been refined from game to game to game. And here we are in 2025 and we can't make a fucking inventory system. I don't understand this. I don't understand why we have to go through so many hoops to loot a body, to get it in our ship, to get it into our actual inventory at our hangar or home location or space station somewhere. It doesn't fucking make sense to me. And I wish the insanity would just stop. If you want to see something hilarious and you want to see me crash out, go watch the stream where titled "Is Mining Viable?" Fast forward to 1 hour and 55 minutes into that stream and watch me freak the fuck out over the inventory system, because apparently you can't just take rocks out of a box and put it on an inventory, nor can you put the box on the freight elevator and send it down and remove the rocks from the box like a normal person would do to the inventory, because that doesn't work. You have to put the box on the elevator, remove the rocks, then it's in your inventory, then take the box off, and then you can go sell. But if you didn't stack them first, you can't sell them. So, oh my God, it's so stupid and it needs to be addressed.
The combat aftermath is not just slow due to the constant server response waiting for every action, but the UI look-wise, design, or hell, even physicalized location of your character's body is constantly in my way, blocking the little bit of fun of looting that there could be left from this first-person shooter looter gameplay. And do not confuse my problems with picking up a lot of little things. I find that fine. It's the sheer lack of intuitive design to pick up stuff, wait for the server, then realize the goddamn thing didn't pick up properly, then you need to stow it. And pray to RNGs that the goddamn thing doesn't phase through the model and goes into space. And because of these...
I'll let him finish in a moment. The Geo... Okay, so when me and Grumpy were playing with the Geo, we were on... And I'm sure it's been fixed by now because this was several weeks ago. The Geo, so we went out in the Geos, we were pulling boxes and filling boxes up with gems, and then we went to sell them, right? We had filled up, he brought 15 boxes with him. We filled up 7 or 8, and we sold out of them. All right. No big deal. We go back out to the field and fill up the next few boxes, and that's when we start trying to swap them out, that we realize boxes that we sold out of are now broken and will not accept inventory. No matter what we did, switching geos, it didn't matter. We tried a whole bunch of things, sending them down the freight elevator, sending them back up, nothing. Yeah, it's ridiculous, and I wish things like that would be fixed. And I think Jim is spot on with that it's not database driven and it's server based.
Bunch of little and bigger things. I just hate all of this now. And this is me also ignoring constant physics object glitching and updating as the server checks whether or not the little object moves. Honestly, how could anyone not call this asset flip garbage when they see it for the first time like this? And for me, the resident hardcore FPS garbage.
The thing that really annoys me in this is that there's no, like, it auto what's the word I'm looking for? It auto stacks when you use this inventory system, which is fine, but you can't split. You also cannot split. So that sucks. That needs to be fixed. I'm sure in a few months there'll be a new patch and everybody will be talking about the new split button that's been added to the new inventory system.
See it for the first time like this. But for me, the resident hardcore FPS psychopath, this is a fucking tragedy. See, Star Citizen undeniably has one of the coolest sci-fi gun models with the most detail created by really cool artists. In fact, I recently found a company, Armory, who made a few used and unused Star Citizen models. The genuine attention to detail is super impressive. What's more, I absolutely love this idea of going in space to clearing out a luxury ship that's the size of a small game's level, through tactical or careful gameplay, like say, for example, in Ready or Not, fighting actually clever opponents that will take you down if you so much as miss a step. And your reward at the end is literally picking through the bodies clean, and coming out the other end far richer with a lot more toys. That sounds awesome! Have you so much as miss a step, and your reward at
See
the
how
end
that
is
AI
literally
almost
picking
killed him
through
from
the
standing in the
bodies
doorway?
clean, and coming
Look right here. Gets face to face with them. The AI gets one shot off before he even starts
out
firing.
the other end far richer with a lot more toys.
This AI.
Clean, and coming out the other end far
Hey, go back.
richer with a
This AI right there should start shooting at him immediately. And he should be like, depending on gun, he should be at like half health before he realizes he needs to get back into cover.
lot more toys. That sounds awesome!
The AI does not work.
Well, even stealing
the way
the
it
part
should.
mini luxury ship to use for the next mission afterwards is just a cherry on top. See, the fun
That
in
is
games
pretty
comes
cool.
from overcoming a challenge. So tell me, what kind of a fucking challenge is literally clicking on unresponsive Roomba heads? And now I have to stress
Roomba.
this point, because Kool-Aid drinkers seems to miss this point for whatever reason. Early access or unfinished games can be just as fun as finished games. I mean, look at Star Sector for fuck's sakes. Well,
I've never heard of
so
Star
the
Sector.
first-person combat is not very good, to say the least. What about the space combat? Well, it's not that much better either. When in my cheap-ass Mustang Alpha, I can outturn, outshoot, and outkill not just better dedicated combat ship, but a squad of these ships by using literally the simplest maneuvers, then you know something has horribly gone wrong. The AI difficulty, again, is made either so easy or coded so poorly that
I will say this about the space AI. I am not getting intentionally rammed every other mission anymore, which I do appreciate, and thank you for fixing that. But I have my other grievances when it comes to space AI and space movement.
half the time I think it stopped working. Oh, and remember this clip? Okay, so I'm completely gonna stop moving. What happens? Okay, so it goes behind me.
I have a clip of missiles locked onto me, trying to hit me.
Okay, it kind of turns.
Hold on, I
and
think my
then-
wife is texting me.
So, what the fuck is it doing? Okay, so I am docked. Now what will the AI do? What the fuck will AI do? Okay. So
Really? He's just gonna sit still?
flies. Okay. What the fuck is it? Okay, so it flies there. It... I knew it! I knew it! The AI is so bad, it doesn't even do the proper ground avoidance. Jesus Christ! This is how bad the AI for ships used to be before server meshing, and I start to suspect that it hasn't changed much. See, when No Man's Sky, yes, fucking No Man's Sky has better space combat difficulty, son.
I like No Man's Sky, but I also hate No Man's Sky. You know why I hate No Man's Sky? I can't lift them off my desk. I can't use my joystick. You know what else I hate No Man's Sky for? Because I can't even use this. That's why. That's why. I love No Man's Sky, but I hate No Man's Sky because I can't even use this. And if I want to use either of those two things, I have to download 1 to 3. Yes, you heard me correct. 1 to 3 third-party programs to allow me to use my joysticks and or controller, unless I had a Steam controller. Then a Steam controller just plugs right in and plays.
You have failed. But hey, before we draw a conclusion, the spaceship AI is more responsive than FPS AI at least.
Yes,
Here you're
yes,
offered
yes.
actually some kind of a challenge. Even if it is the level of Space Baby Easy. Which, come to think of it, for most space dads might as well be a bit too hard. But then again, what the hell do I know, right? But yeah, Max, what if that AI is just the easy bots? No, not really. The only difference between the, for example, low-tier bounties and the high tiers is the type and amount of ships being used, as well as maybe guns.
I think it was the control server issues. That's what I think, Jim.
And mind you, I'm totally not proficient in Star Citizen's combat mechanics. So what does that tell you? But Yamix, what if the AI is made easy on purpose? Yeah, I kinda suspect that might be the case, in more than just a few places. See, the reasoning here is that, well, FPS gameplay in 30 frames a second is already horrible when it works perfectly. So if you made the AI too aimbotty, no one could really enjoy killing them, even if those Roombas didn't move. So
I looked it up on YouTube and Google, and they were like, yeah, if you want to use joysticks, you have to download this thing, which you have to download this thing, which allows you to use a controller. Then you have to use another program to emulate the controller to your joysticks, and then a third program to map it correctly. Otherwise, it's going to do all kinds of crazy stuff. Granted, that was 6, 7, 8 months ago that I was looking into that, and I played No Man's Sky through one of the campaigns and then kind of just left it, and that's fine. But yeah, that's it. It was fun. I enjoyed it, and I would play it more. I would have played it a lot more if I could use my joysticks, or at least a controller.
Space whale dads feel good about their investment.
I don't care about the FPS stuff, the flight
product. Just make it look dangerous. But hey, that might just be a conspiracy. So where is this fun? Clicking heads with no challenge? Space pew-pews on
That's what I think,
mode?
Cannot.
Now, sure, challenge is not the only way to have fun, but for combat, well, they are very tightly linked. So, it utterly saddens me to see just how bad Star Citizen has made its missions and how much potential is just utterly squandered. The 890 jump mission could be really, really fun. The space combat could be really, really fun. Hell, even looting corpses and stealing ships could be really, really fun. But so many broken, hitching, barely designed, glitching, and unfinished features simply stand in the way as massive roadblocks. This is why I simply can't take Star Citizen seriously, because itself doesn't want me to. And don't think that I'm just focusing on combat alone. Trading and mining, as well as rest of the type of a so-called gameplay, suffers from overarching issues. For example, mining. Let's take the cheapest entryway to mining. Hand mining. It's a cool idea. You get your starter gear, get into the cave, and dig up some valuable starting capital. To pick up the rock, you have to wait for the server to respond that your character picked up an item. Then wait for the server to respond that an item is added to your inventory. And in the middle of that, probably something also glitches out. Do you see the pattern? The amount of, for the lack of better word...
And, like, honestly, I understand that this is supposed to be a gateway to buy the rock and then eventually the prospector, but at 70,000, what did I do that for? Almost 3 hours. At 70,000 per 3 hours, it's way better for you to just go run bunkers for 3 hours. You'll make twice the amount of money. Like there's no reason to hand mine right now. Just get your FPS gear, go do bunkers for 2-3 hours, and you'll have plenty of money. Not just from the missions, but if you grab, there are other expensive things, but I'm one of those guys that will still advocate this fully. At 800 credits per item, grab as many med guns as you can find. You can stuff your backpack full of tons of them. And what I used to do is I used to go run bounties for a few hours, bring it all home, store all the med guns, and then the next day go out and do more bunkers, store all the med guns again, and then after like a week, right, I would just sit in the medical center and sell all my medical guns, and I would make 60,000, 70,000 just off of selling med guns, and that doesn't include all the other shit that I brought back with me.
Immersion killing roadblocks like these make me despise this type of a gameplay, even if Star Citizen's execution in theory could be pretty fun. Or what about trading? Now tell me, where can you intuitively read the ship's stats?
Yeah, Renegade
like, for example,
Vest.
the cargo capacity. Oh, the ship summoning screen? Well, why not in your mobi-glass then as well? Now, I might just be weird, but that doesn't seem intuitive to me at all. Or what about the best trade routes? Where can you find information about trading in the first place? Oh, third-party tools, you say? It's not properly in Star Citizen? For fuck's sakes, and I thought that Star Citizen tried to do better at least some things than Elite Dangerous, but nope, third-party tools it is. And I haven't even mentioned how reliable Star Citizen's patented totally not a gravity gun is. Have fun! The point being, at every step you encounter glitching, spazzing, or worse, outright bugs that constantly take you out of the situation, even if the feature you're currently engaged in is
yes
finished
and
works as intended.
Yeah, no, that doesn't fit in there.
Hand mining prospector Bobby in space.
That one SU box was not designed to fit in there.
Now you're the menu man, fiddling with badly designed and unresponsive menus just to drop the fucking rock. Once I got that smooth frame rate due to my overbuilt PC that cost a pretty amount, support my work on Patreon by the way, once I get that minimum frame rate, I'm met with bugs, glitches, broken shit, and slow updates from the server that causes even more bugs, glitches, and stutters. So when can I start having fun, Mr. Roberts? Hell, even the fucking minigames in Arena Commander are no better, which is bizarre.
Interesting.
Now, sure, I'm certain that at least somebody can find it fun, but that's the thing. Should we call this experience fun? Must we be satisfied with bad mechanics and finished features, or worse? Is this how little we respect our own time? Or for the fans of Star Citizen, is it not better that gameplay itself gets better for everyone rather than new shit gets added? So at the end, I really don't care what way Star Citizen will go. I find it interesting regardless, for the both right and wrong reasons. This is why I use the word interesting rather than fun, because sure as hell can't call this experience fun. But hey, maybe you find what Star Citizen offers actually fun, in which case do tell me what am I missing, or at least what you like. Seriously, I do read all the comments, so take your best shot.
Okay. So that was Yamix. Look, my only he's got a lot of very solid points, and I agreed with all of them. The one thing I will disagree with is when he asked if it's fun and he used the word interesting instead of fun. I will say this. I think that Star Citizen is more fun / can be fun when played in a group. I don't find it very enjoyable when I'm playing solo. Take that for what it's worth. I am going to go get another cup of coffee, and we're going to watch another. We're going to watch another couple videos. I have a lot of Star Citizen stuff this time, which is, we have a non-Star Citizen one we can watch. But yeah, I'll be back. All right. I'll be back in just a moment here. And because JT just loves the music so much. I'm back. Whether you like it or not, I'm back. Okay. Let's watch a non-Star Citizen video, right? I need to cleanse my palate, so to speak. So we're gonna watch the Fat Files. And I love this guy. I love the Fat Files, Fat Electrician. If you haven't subscribed, please subscribe to him. He's amazing. I really, really, really enjoy watching him. It's a little long. All right. Let's go back. We'll watch the Fat Files. All right, Fat Files. Take it away, Fatty.
Nothing is normal. Absolutely nothing. Every time I start a video, I was like, this is a cool company. I'm sure completely normal things are happening there. Never happens, okay? Started working on a Cabela's video, found out that they're actually owned by Bass Pro Shop. Okay, I'm gonna do a Bass Pro Shop video. And now there's Indian spiritual leaders and crystal skulls and pyramids and curses involved, and I don't even know what's going on.
Wow. Cabela's is one of my favorite stores ever. I love Cabela's. It's one of my favorite stores ever. We had one just 20 minutes away from where I lived in Illinois, and I was there all the time buying fishing gear, camping gear, you know, Pro 2A things. If you guys know, you know, and things to feed my Pro 2A things. Often. I spent far too much money at Cabela's. Far too much money.
Today we're talking about the most American thing that has ever happened. That time that we took the world's 7th largest pyramid and turned it into a Bass Pro Shops. Okay, and just so we're all on the same page, it is not the simple fact that America turned the world's 7th largest pyramid into a bait and tackle shop that's the most American thing ever. No, the most American thing is the story of how it happened, because it reads like a redneck Indiana Jones script and it's absolutely insane. But we're gonna get to it right after a word from our sponsor.
Delete me.
Why are you dressed like that? Why do you have a Tech 9?
I'm going to the farmer's market.
Okay, that explains the outfit. Explain the Tech 9.
Muriel's getting on my turf again.
You look like you're going to go do a drive-by in a carriage. Here's the deal. Super simple, straightforward business model. You give them money, they turn around and make sure that data brokers on the internet aren't selling your personal information. What does that even mean? Okay, here's the entire internet, and every is absolutely worth it.
As much as I love a good hustle, no, I'm not doing a minute and a half of hustle.
If you want to check them out, I'll have a link and a discount code down below. Let's get back to the video. All right, buckle up. Things are about to get weird. Alex Jones may or may not be involved. Regardless, our story begins in 1948 when Johnny Morris, the founder of Bass Pro Shops, is born. He grows up as the son of a World War II veteran that after coming back home from the war opens up a liquor store. That goes well, so he opens up another liquor store soon. He's got an entire chain of regional liquor stores called Brown Derby. Why on earth did they call it that? I have no idea. So then why did I bring it up? Because it kind of sounds like a gay bar, and I think that's funny. Moving on. So Johnny spends his childhood growing up in Springfield, Missouri. His dad owns a chain of liquor stores.
I'm so glad I did not drink right when he said that. Oh, that killed me. Oh, man. There would have been coffee all over my computer screen. Oh, my God.
In the Midwest. There's absolutely no way that guy's not making a ton of money. There's literally nothing to do in the Midwest other than drink and figure 8 race, which, if we're being honest, is just racing with an intersection while you're half drunk anyways.
Hell yeah.
So Johnny
he forgot one thing. Bowling. The largest concentration of bowling alleys is in the northern part of the Midwest. Stretching out to the east, you follow it. They literally follow around the Great Lakes. So there's a huge concentration of bowling alleys in Wisconsin, northern Illinois, northern Indiana, Ohio, and then it just follows the Great Lakes. Look it up.
Presumably has a pretty good childhood because his dad is taking him on all these hunting trips. He's going bass fishing out at Lake of the Ozarks, and he ends up becoming this huge outdoors guy. He goes off to college where he, and I quote, majored in fishing.
You can do that?
Comes back home from college, doesn't really know what he wants.
You can major in fishing? Nobody told me this. Nobody told me this when I was trying to get into college. I could major in fishing. I probably wouldn't be sitting in this chair right now. I probably wouldn't have kids either, but I probably wouldn't be sitting in this chair right now. I'd be sitting on a boat, right? A beautiful bass boat, fishing until 3 o'clock in the afternoon every day because I'm working. I think I'm going to have to go back to school.
Wants to do, but he does know it's a humongous pain in the ass to find good fishing equipment because remember, this is like the 1970s. There is no Amazon. You can't get on the internet and buy all the fishing stuff, okay? Bass Pro Shops doesn't exist yet. You got to know a guy that knows a guy that's making lures in his basement if you want to get good fishing tackle. So Johnny, fresh home from college,
in
where
the
he
70s,
just learned the laws of supply and demand,
I have a fishing pole from the 1970s. I keep it because it was my dad's and it was my grandpa's, and that's the only reason why I keep it. But it is not a good pole for modern fishing, modern lures. Now, it is good if you're looking for, I'd say, medium catfish where you're just going to let it sit all day. But I'd say nothing bigger than like 8 to 10 pounds. I would not mess with a fish bigger than that on that pole, but it's because it's too springy, it's too spongy in the tip and throughout the midsection of the pole. It's just not. It's not snappy like today's modern fishing poles, and you don't get because it's not snappy. You don't get the feel of the line. You don't get to feel the rocks as you're going over them and what's a nibble, what's not a nibble, et cetera, et cetera.
Huge demand for fishing stuff and there's a very low supply of it, figures he's going to fill that gap and he's probably going to make some money doing it. So he takes out a $10,000 loan, rents a U-Haul, travels the entire United States, making connections with local bait.
I remember using the Yellow Pages, Jim.
Up all of their inventory and then brings it back to Springfield, Missouri and starts Bass Pro Shops in the back of one of his dad's liquor stores. Now remember what I said, there is no Amazon. Awesome. You can't get online and order all your fancy bass fishing equipment. You got to know a guy that knows a guy, and pretty soon Johnny Morris becomes that guy. His phone number is getting passed around the fishing community like wildfire. The next thing he knows, he's getting phone calls from other states all over the country, placing orders, and then he's mailing stuff to people. This goes on for about 2 years, and then after that, he realizes he has an enormous catalog of names, addresses, and phone numbers of all the big fishermen all over the United States of America. So he takes a risk. He prints out 10,000 Bass Pro Shops catalogs in 1974 and mails them to absolutely everybody with all of his products inside. This explodes into a humongous mail order business, which is basically the Amazon of its time. And as he continues to grow the business, he's like, you know what? Fuck it. I'm just going to start selling fish.
You know what, guys, I feel like I can't say anything without you guys turning it into some sort of innuendo. And I'm telling you, it's not that I don't appreciate it. It's that, well, I love it. You fucking degenerates. Keep it coming.
Fishing boats out of my catalog too, but I'm not just going to sell the boat. I'm going to sell the boat with the motor and the trailer, all for one price, one-stop shop. You get everything. Up until this point, if you wanted to buy a fishing boat, you had to go buy the boat, then you had to go buy the motor, then you had to figure out how to get a fucking trailer. It was a whole day-long event. Now you could just call up Johnny and have the boat delivered to you. It was perfect. His boats end up becoming the most popular boat in America and the most manufactured boat on the planet. Then in 1980, he realizes, like, you know what? I bet people would really appreciate a place where they can just drive their truck, pick up the boat on the trailer, be able to look at all the fishing lures, all the stuff I have for sale. I'm going to build an enormous retail place. He builds the world's first Bass Pro Shops outdoor world.
I've never been to the one in Springfield.
Square feet. There's fish
I've been to the
tanks,
one in
there's exotic animals stuffed all over the walls. It's not just a
and
store.
Illinois.
It's basically like a dead zoo.
Oh wait, I think there's one in Nebraska, and I've been to that one too.
It's basically Willy Wonka's chocolate factory for rednecks. Okay, people travel from hours and hours away to.
You guys have no idea. Like, if you are into outdoors, which I don't know if any of you guys are, I have spent way too much time indoors doing hobby things like video games and YouTube stuff, and my daughters aren't the biggest outdoor enthusiasts, right? One daughter is, she tries to be, but she's got mild allergies to everything. She's got mild allergies to pollen, mild allergies to dogs, cats, grass. Shit, she can't even jump into a pile of dry leaves without coming out with a minor rash all over her body for 2 days. Like, it sucks. I want to go fishing. I've gone fishing in South Carolina, I think twice since I moved here. So yeah. But anyways, if you guys are into outdoor stuff at all, even if it's just fishing, catch and release, Bass Pro Shops and Cabela's is the greatest thing ever. I can stay in one of those shopping center things, the monument to outdoors, for 4 or 5 hours straight and not even feel like I wasted my day.
Make their pilgrimage to Bass Pro Shops. Okay, I can't stress to you enough how big of a deal the first Bass Pro Shops was.
4 years.
Okay? To this day, the Bass Pro Shop in Springfield, Missouri is considered the largest tourist attraction in the state of Missouri. This one singular store gets over 4 million customers a year, okay? That's like 11,000 people a day inside of this bait and tackle shop. Okay, and at this point you're like, wow, that's a lot of people.
I've never been to that one. I should go.
Fuck ton of people going to buy fishing lures, okay? Disneyland gets 40,000 people a day. You've got 25% the business volume of Disneyland, and all you're doing is selling fishing equipment. Johnny Morris is literally
no. So I this is where I will disagree with Fat, right? It is so much more than just a fishing equipment place, right? They have I'm not going to get into the whole thing. If you have a Bass Pro or you have a what do you call it? A Cabela's near you, just go visit them. Just go visit them and walk around. If you have any misgivings or don't understand the world of fishing and hunting, just go there, keep your mouth shut, and just walk around the place. It's so amazing. It's super fun stuff. JT, I'm decent at fishing. But even if I go on a day where I don't catch anything, once again, I don't think it's a wasted day. Even if I just catch a buzz and not any fish, it's not a wasted day to me. I was out on the water. I was experiencing nature. Nobody's talking to me. I turn off my cell phone. Well, I don't turn it off because my wife might need to get a hold of me. But I don't answer the phone for anybody. And even my wife, she won't call me or text me unless there's a 911 ahead of that, letting me know, hey, there's an emergency and I need to answer the phone. So yeah, I love fishing. I never got into hunting. Nobody in my family was big into hunting, and it's a skill that I wish I would have learned. Ew, dicks? Gross. We're not dicks here. We don't like dicks here.
Disney of rednecks at this point. How come you keep saying everybody that shops at Bass Pro Shops is a redneck? Don't do the whole I'm gonna get offended over literally nothing bit, okay? Nobody cares, okay? At the end of the day, there's only 2 types of outdoor people, okay? There's Patagonia wearing outdoor people, and there's Bass Pro Shop outdoor people, okay? You've got outdoor people that want to save the environment, you've got outdoor people that want to eat the environment, okay? If you are the one
eating the environment helps save the environment. Gosh.
that want to eat the environment, sorry, you're a redneck. That's just how it goes.
I think we offended somebody out here.
That ain't funny as it says.
Anyways, outdoor world, outrageously successful. So when you find something that works, you keep doing it. So he opens up another one and another one.
Another one.
And then another one. And next thing you know, he's got over 200 Bass Pro Shops outdoor worlds all over the country. So now at this point, Johnny Morris has built the business out wide.
I would love
and
that,
the only
Bindi.
place left to go is up.
I would love that, Bindi.
And down.
And
he vertically integrates the entire thing. So Johnny Morris figures, okay, well, who's upstream of me? I'm the middleman. I basically buy shit from a factory. I sell it in my store. I deliver it to the customer. Cool. I'm going to go backwards and I'm going to start buying all the factories that make the shit in my stores. He buys out the boat company that makes all these boats, which to this day is still the most popular boat in America and the company that makes the most boats in the world. He buys the company that manufactures the four-wheelers that he sells in his stores. He buys up anything and everything everything that he can, and then he makes that the Bass Pro brand. And in doing so, his brand is now absolutely everywhere. It's on boats, it's on ATVs, it's on clothing, it's on dining room sets.
Look
at
that fish.
Brand. Four-wheelers that he sells in his stores. He buys up anything and everything that he can, and then he makes that the Bass Pro brand. And in doing so, his brand is now absolutely...
Look at that fish. Damn, that's beautiful. That is I'm sorry, that's a gorgeous fish.
Absolutely everywhere. It's on boats, it's on ATVs, it's on clothing, it's on dining room sets, it's on fishing
you guys
equipment.
are so
it's absolutely
nasty.
Everywhere, to the point that everybody in America knows that brand. It's one of the most recognizable brands of all time. And in doing so, it's kind of polarizing, right? There's only two types of people in regards to Bass Pro Shop. There's people that like it and want to shop there, and those people are going to buy his merch and rep the company because they think it's awesome.
Yeah.
And then there's people that want to make fun of the people that shop at Bass Pro Shop. And guess what they're going to do? They're also going to buy his merch to wear it ironically in an attempt to make fun of those people. Either way, Johnny Morris is making money off of both ends selling his merch. It's absolutely brilliant. Not only has he conquered his own market, he's figured out a way to monetize the haters as well.
Hey, I'm sorry, I didn't see you there. I was too busy blocking out the haters.
So Johnny Morris has done it. He's vertically integrated everything. Like anything to do with fishing in America, he is inescapable. Like you got to go through this guy if you want to be able to catch fish.
I like fishing, man.
So he's like, okay, well, I need to expand into related markets. What's related to fishing? Hunting.
I should. It's in the garage, all in the back far corner. If I were to take a picture of all my tackle boxes, all my fishing poles, all the reels that don't even have poles to go on. I think I have three or four of those plastic boxes. Like they're like that, like that, and that, and then that deep, full of plastic worms, minnows.
Shame.
Frogs, crawfish, leeches, you name it. Like it is a ridiculous amount of stuff. Live bait, buckets. I got now we live in the South, so I had to get rid of I had a portable ice shanty, I had a auger, I had a hand auger, I had I had all the stuff for ice fishing too.
Most people that fish hunt, vice versa. So there's another company, almost the same exact business model and storyline to him, but it's the hunting version, and that's Cabela's. So he buys Cabela's out for $5 billion and combines the brands together. After acquiring Cabela's, there's only one more company that he's actually competing with, and that's Sportsman's Warehouse. So he goes to buy them out too, and he gets like all the way to the very end. They're about
you almost
to sign
bought
the
Sportsman's
contract,
Warehouse?
and Bass Pro Shop is about
Sportsman's Warehouse is another one that's huge. I love shopping off Sportsman's Warehouse. They're super awesome.
To own Sportsman's Warehouse, and the government agency, the FTC, the Federal Trade Commission, has to step in and stop the purchase of Sportsman's Warehouse, because if he buys it, they're going to declare it a legal monopoly. He is not allowed to buy up any more of the competition.
This is the worst.
At this point, Johnny Morris is essentially won capitalism. The government has had to come in and say, no, you're way too good at selling fishing lures. You're not allowed to do this, because then you're literally going to be the only option in the entire country. We've got to stop you. Here's the gold star for winning capitalism. Great work. Enjoy being a billionaire. Have a nice day. So Johnny Morris is like, okay, the government stepped in, not allowed to get any bigger at doing what I'm already doing. So my only other option now is to either just call it a day and retire, or I can expand into a related market. And at that point, he realizes like, okay, I'm going to do tourism. I'm already kind of in tourism already.
What?
I have the #1 tourist destination in Missouri, and my other stores are in the top 5 destinations in like 8 other states. So he gets more into tourism. He starts opening up Bass Pro Shop resorts, golf courses. He has a fucking music festival. And then one day, the Memphis Pyramid.
Wait a second. I did not know. I had a subscription through them a long time ago, and I canceled it before we moved because, trying to save money and all of that. They're closed? They're out of business? No shit, really?
up for sale. And I know what you're thinking, why the fuck is there a pyramid in Memphis? Great question. Well, in the 1950s, there was this architect that wanted to make a big ass pyramid. He actually wanted to make 3 pyramids, but it never got that far. He never got around to it in his life, but his son also became an architect. And in the 1980s, he resurrected the idea, got the funding, and built the 7th largest pyramid in the world on the Mississippi River in Memphis.
I did not know that that was there.
The pyramid is extremely polarizing. You've got taxpayers that are like, I don't want you to take my tax money and build a giant fucking pyramid. No. And then there's other people that are like, fuck yeah, this is America, let's build a giant pyramid. And then you've got people coming out of left field like Alex Jones claiming that the people behind it are part of the occult and they're building a secret satanic worship temple or some shit.
These guys are admittedly into the occult. You can just look up their names. They're all over the local newspapers.
And originally, it was an event center. People were going to have basketball games there, boxing matches. Mike Tyson fought there. They were going to have concerts, all kinds of stuff. So they started building it in 1989. It finally opens up in 1991. And right before the Memphis Pyramid is about to open up, the maintenance crew goes up to the very top. And at the very top, there's a metal box welded at the top of the pyramid. And they're like, what the fuck is that? So they go, they get the project manager. They end up chipping away at this welding. They rip this box down. Inside this metal box is a smaller wooden box. So they pull that up, they open it, and there's like a of just incense and perfume and shit that comes out. And inside of the box is a fucking crystal skull inside of a velvet cloth.
What?
Don't worry, it gets weirder somehow. So they track down who put the crystal skull there, and somebody finally admits to doing it, and it is the founder of the Hard Rock Cafe and the House of Blues,
good,
Isaac
JT,
Tigrit,
good.
because originally there was going to be a Hard Rock Cafe inside of the pyramid. Still raises the question, why the fuck are we putting crystal skulls at the top like it's an Indiana Jones movie? Isaac Tigrit's reasoning was, I'm not making this up. I promise you, I can show you the interviews where he talks about it. When Isaac Tigrit was 27 years old, he was drunk driving his Porsche and crashed it, careening it off a 400-foot cliff. And as the car is rolling down the cliff, an Indian man appeared and held him through the crash, and he walks out of this car wreck. The car is just completely obliterated, and he walks out without so much as a scratch or a bruise.
He appeared instantly in this room. He picked me up and put me on a bed. He pulled my tongue out. I'm watching this from above. He places his hand on my chest and pushes on my chest, and the spirit went right back into my body.
A couple years later, he's in a bookstore and he sees the Indian man that held him through this car crash on the back of a book and finds out that it's his Indian spiritual leader named Sai Baba. So he goes to India multiple times, ends up giving this guy millions and millions of dollars, and becomes best buddies with this Indian spiritual leader, Sai Baba. And when Sai Baba finds out that they're building a massive pyramid in Memphis and they're putting a Hard Rock Cafe on the top, Sai Baba gives Isaac this crystal skull and gives him instructions on how to mount it at the very top, because it's gonna please the cosmos or put out good vibes or some shit. So that's what Isaac Tigrit does. Then fast forward, the maintenance guys find it, they take it down, they track Isaac Tigrit down, and Isaac Tigrit is like, you need to put it back up there or you're gonna disrupt the cosmos. At which point they're like, no, that's fucking weird. We're not doing that. Alex Jones is already breathing down our neck, saying that we're some satanic cult
that turned the friggin' frogs gay.
We're not mounting crystal skulls at the top of the fucking pyramid. So then people find out about this. People start saying that now the pyramid is cursed, and it's starting to look like it's true because the first night it opens up for a concert, the sewage backs up and ruins the entire event. From here, it's just bad thing after bad thing after bad thing happening. One of the maintenance crew guys plummets to his death. People keep falling down the staircases because the stairs are too steep, because they built a concert venue inside of a fucking pyramid. The seats are uncomfy because they made them too small, trying to cram as many people into this auditorium as possible. Again, because it's a pyramid, which is not a great shape to have a concert venue to begin with. Eventually, a bunch of musicians refuse to even play that venue because apparently the acoustics inside of a pyramid aren't that great. The entire venue just becomes synonymous with not having a good time. It's a huge waste of taxpayer money. Memphis is actually losing money every single month keeping this place open, and the people in Memphis start referring to it as the Tomb of Doom. So by 2007, the entire venue is just shut down. Nobody wants to go there anymore. And now there's just a big, empty, haunted pyramid on the Mississippi River.
That was another great clip, Blaze.
Johnny Morris, the guy expanding his hospitality and resort business. And he's like, you know what? I could put a Bass Pro Shop in that motherfucker. It'd be awesome. At face value, it's funny. Why wouldn't you go to a giant pyramid to buy a fishing lure? That's hilarious. But we're also going to call it the Redneck Mecca. Why is that funny? Well, because Mecca is the holiest place in the Muslim faith, and every single Muslim on the planet is obligated to go there at least once in their life if they're physically and financially capable of doing so. We're going to quietly...
Just don't touch the rock, right? Don't kiss it. Anyways, JT, what's up? Or later, blah, blah, blah. JT, it was good seeing you.
Insinuate that every redneck in North America has a religious obligation to make a pilgrimage to Memphis so that they can buy a fishing lure from our pyramid. Then we're going to put a 100-room resort at the bottom of it. We're going to have a bowling alley. There's going to be an indoor swamp, a shooting range. It's going to be fucking awesome. I don't know what you're thinking. Why on earth would you want to put your retail business inside of a haunted pyramid? Because your customer base is rednecks. You want to know who doesn't give a shit about being haunted? Rednecks. If anything, it makes it better. You know what's more fun than being able to go to a pyramid to buy a fucking fishing lure? Being able to go to a pyramid, buy a fishing lure with the slight chance that you're going to get to shoot a ghost with a shotgun loaded with rock salt, okay? Okay, these are rowdy, fearless individuals.
That's a
these
good time to me.
Daniels was talking about, okay? If you told a story about any other demographic on the planet that started out with they made a deal with Satan, it would be a cautionary tale where this guy loses his soul. Not rednecks. Rednecks are going to beat that motherfucker in a fiddle contest, win a golden fiddle because they can. So the pyramid being cursed, definitely not a downside. If anything, it's an upside. The only real downside, to be honest with you, is that, well, you're creating a tourist attraction for rednecks, and if they're staying overnight, they're probably going to get drunk and rowdy and get naked and take a cannonball into the fish tank.
Man made quite a splash at the Bass Pro Shop when he swam naked. Police say he crashed his car in the parking lot, took off all of his clothes, he jumped into the water yelling cannonball.
And then, of course, there's the cost. Obviously, buying the world's 7th largest pyramid that's on the river on prime real estate is going to be pretty expensive, whether it's haunted or not. So Johnny Morris doesn't really know if it's going to be a good business idea. He definitely doesn't want to lose money, so he just kind of like sets it in the hands of God and lets him make the decision. He decides, you know what? I'm just going to schedule a fishing trip on the Mississippi River right near the pyramid, and I'm going to go fishing for catfish, and if I catch a really big catfish, that's going to be my sign that I'm going to buy this pyramid. And sure enough, Johnny Morris goes on this fishing trip and catches a 34-pound fucking catfish in the shadow of the pyramid. Okay, do you understand the significance of what I've just told you? This is the most American thing that's ever happened.
Probably am a redneck.
Pyramid got built in Memphis. It's the 7th largest pyramid on the planet. That people now think is haunted because some millionaire that opened up the Hard Rock Cafe was drunk driving his Porsche and had a vision that he was saved by an Indian spirit guide. So he had him place a crystal skull at the top, and then it was haunted and run out of business. And then it got brought back by some dude that became a billionaire by selling fishing lures out the ass end of a liquor store in Springfield, Missouri. So in conclusion, I guess I don't know. I don't know how I got here, to be honest with you. I guess
this is one of the greatest American tales of all time.
Pick whatever you want to do in life, even if it's something as simple as selling fishing lures, and get so outrageously good at it that you can then financially justify buying a haunted pyramid. 'Cause America, I guess.
Your devil worship fails. The hillbillies, the country boy can't survive. The John Deere hat wins. You lose, we win. Your little devil palace is falling down.
Oh my God. Oh, that was so good. That was so good. That was so good. That man, I agree. That man is a legend. That man is a legend.
Look, here's the thing. Fine. Listen, I'm going to be honest with you. I'm kind of retarded. In that... No.
That's going to be a soundbite. They're going to put...
I'm kind of retarded. In that...
Oh, that always cracks me up. Every time it cracks me up. Oh my God, it gets me every time. It gets me every time. Ah, shit. Oh, God. I swear to God, it cracks me up every time. Every time. Oh man. Woo. Oh, that was good. Oh, that was good. Woo. Oh, wait. Let me see if I can find it. Hold on. Let me see if I can find it. Let me see if I can find it. I think I put it in here. Ah, yes. If you guys haven't seen this, this is pretty good too. This is actually really good. Get chat back up here again because I can't. Now I can't see. Now I can't see. I need the chat. There we go. There we go. This is pretty good. The quality's not going to be very good.
I want you guys just to see, like, the content of the jar. It's Come out. So this is a popular condiment in China, and a lot of people eat it. So we got the pop. So at least we know it's fresh. Oh, God. It stinks so fucking bad. It's on my finger. It stinks. Oh my God. That's what. Oh my God. Dude, it stinks so bad.
It's stinky tofu.
Woo. Woo. Oh.
I've watched this like 15 times, and every time it gets me to crying.
It hasn't wafted its way to it yet.
Here.
No, I'm good.
Get a whiff.
Even the camera woman can't handle it. Oh.
My hurts.
Oh my God. Oh, the kid said, "Oh my God, it looks like snot on a plate," and then he puts juice on it. He's not gonna even eat it. He just pushes it away.
I'm literally crying.
Oh my God. Oh, this gets me in.
Just look at this, man. It's
okay, I'm gonna stop it there. Otherwise, I'm gonna be hurting real bad. I'm gonna be hurting real bad. Oh my God, it gets even better. It gets even better. It gets so much better. Oh man. Yeah. Man, that was too good. All right. We got time. We'll do a short one because I gotta get some things done, and then I gotta take a nap for this afternoon. I'll be in the Discord later tonight, and you know, hanging out, chilling. I'm not sure what I'm gonna do, but I gotta stay up all night. Probably gonna finish painting. Which, by the way, let me I'll be right back. I'm gonna show off a little bit. So I got I should probably make this screen a little bit bigger. So I got this guy done. It's the green screen's gonna kind of mess it up. I just got to finish painting the base, but I'm really proud of him. Really, like, it's you can't really see because it's green. It's gonna just model it out, but the cockpit's slightly jeweled. Had fun making that. This one I just got to put the glaze on, and yeah, but I actually put like an actual base on him. It's hard to see because of the green screen. It's the blue, it's got some green in it, but yeah, this one has an actual base on it, so that's super nice. This one, I'm doing a set of 5 of these in the same color. I'm like a quarter of the way done with this. It's got some of the basing. It's got the basing on it. I got the top half and the lower half done. I just got to pretty it up and do the highlights and other things on it. But I'm really happy with the way this one came out in particular. But like I said, it's only a quarter of the way done. Oh, Blaze, you're leaving? Man. Quitter. You and JT are quitters. All right. We're going to do one short one. And like I said, I got to go eat lunch and get some stuff done before I take a nap. And yeah. Yeah. Oh, FBI, open up. Blah, blah, blah. Rah, rah, rah. You guys ever watch... That's not what I wanted. Go back. You guys ever watch Chowder? Schnitzel? Rada, 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 rada. Love that guy. All right, so Citizen Bob. Citizen Bob. All right. I know we watched a version of this not too long ago. Hopefully it's not the same one. Breaking the verse. Elevators. Oh, you know what? My bad. I left it in the wrong scene. My bad.
Welcome to Breaking the Verse Flash News. Word is that Scooter, the well-known spaceship dealer from Bruce Breaker, Daimar, has died. Those are lies. You cannot actually die in the verse. It's well known. I myself died and regenerated 4 times just by coming here in the office. You know, elevators. This means Scooter is missing. Here is a clip of Scooter missing. There are several possible explanations for this mysterious disappearance. Some say he got fed up with his grandmother's cumbersome presents and decided to run away.
Nah, he wouldn't leave me, Ma.
Nima and get her opinion on the matter.
What in the hell did you say to me, you little shit? I'm gonna whip your ass. You get on out of here now, you get.
Others think that Asteroid Jack, the new face in the ship sales arena, is in fact Scooter. Here is the response from the person concerned.
Well, that doesn't make any sense. We wear completely different helmets and look nothing like one another.
The mystery is
I think it's the same person.
We at Breaking the Verse will go all the way down to bring you the truth. Let's now move on to other news from the verse. A man in New Babbage took an elevator and just arrived on the desired floor. Dozens of people were hospitalized in shock. Here are the incredible images of the event. An ATLS suit to slaughter a worker this morning at Lorbeer. Argo decided to give the victim a toaster since he was the millionth victim of this killer Mac is not alone. Vice President announced that they will show up with a brand new ship in the upcoming IAE. No more than 10 minutes later, the CEO denied this news. The name of the ship leaked anyway, and it was to be a misconception. We now have an update on the worker killed by the ATLS. He also was killed by the toaster. That is all for tonight, Breaking Verse. I am Bob Citizen. Thank you for watching. Please like, comment, subscribe. As well.
That was pretty good. That was pretty funny. That was actually really funny. So yeah, if you're watching this now, strongly recommend you guys go back and check out the beginning half where we covered the financials, my opinions on it, and yeah, we had some good videos along the way. It was a good time. It was fun. It was very, very fun. I unfortunately have got to go. You guys are amazing. I love you guys. Thank you so much for showing up here and hanging out with this this skinny nerd. Really, it's a lot of fun. I love doing this. I love hanging out with you guys. But I gotta go for now. So thank you all for being here. Thank you all for the support, and I will see you in the next one. When that will be, I'm not sure, but I'll see you in the next one. All right, guys. So long. Thanks for all the fish, and I'll see you guys in the next one. If I can find my buttons.